For the last 30 years, we have been bombarded with the narrative that man-made climate change is going to end civilization. The planet is getting hotter, ice is melting rapidly, species are going extinct, and cow farts are off the charts. It's easy to become cynical about the future with the never-ending doom and gloom, but I'm here today to present some good news about the environment. What if I told you we could turn this into this, and we can do it without advanced technology or planting a single tree? It all starts by understanding more about the ground beneath our feet, or more specifically, soil, one of the planet's most important natural resources. Soil is a living mix of minerals, plant material, water, air, and billions of microorganisms that make life on Earth possible. It grows our food, filters our water, recycles our waste, and keeps the ecosystem balanced. However, we take the soil for granted, and how we have been using the land for the last 100 years has had lasting effects on the planet's soil quality. 1/3 of our soils are already degraded, which means they are too damaged and nutrient poor to be productive. This has happened for a few reasons. As the planet gets warmer, it can lead to something called desertification, where once lush forest and fertile land is turned into dry, arid desert. When this happens, the soil is no longer able to absorb water, so instead of soaking all the water up, large areas are washed away, taking with it vegetation and all-important nutrients. Over time, the land gets drier and harder to work with, which not only breaks down the ecosystem, but also the communities that need it most. These days, we use all kinds of pesticides, fertilizer, and machines to grow crops and feed livestock, but all these chemicals in the ground kill many of the important microbes needed to keep soil naturally healthy. What's more, when the same crop is planted repeatedly, called monoculture, it continuously extracts the same nutrients from the soil, over and over again, leading to large imbalances and making the soil even more useless over time. All of this leaves us with a planet where soil is nutrient poor and degraded. And when soil is degraded, we all feel it. In rising food prices, failing harvest, malnutrition, and in social, political, and economic instability. But in some of the most ravished places on Earth, resilient people are finding a way to not only survive, but thrive, turning barren wastelands into lush, fertile gardens once again. In this episode, I teamed up with Planet Wild to showcase 2 genius solutions that are having a profound impact. These are Bunds, also known as Earth Smiles, and their job is simple: collect enough water to re-wet the landscape. Bunds are engineered barriers built close to contours and slopes, dug to slow, catch, and store surface water runoff. It may seem counterintuitive, but the drier soil is, the worse it becomes at absorbing water. Just look at these examples of water absorption between these 3 states of soil. As you can see, the moist, spongy soil drinks the water right up, while the driest soil forms a hardened, waxy shell that won't let the water in. So even when it rains, the water simply runs off. In Kenya, the Maasai have found a simple way to make the ground more absorbent by digging tens of thousands of these bunds. Each bund sparks a beautiful chain reaction. As rain collects inside thousands of slopes, it allows the dry soil to slowly soak up water again. Seeds sprout and drive their roots deep into the hardened earth, breaking it up bit by bit and restoring its original sponginess. Meanwhile, life can also return, providing nutrients for above-ground vegetation to spread, which then protects the land from erosion and provides shade that lowers the surface temperature and increases humidity. After just a couple of years, a barren landscape can transform into something totally different. The second method involves bringing back the trees. A common reaction to deforestation is, why don't we just plant new trees? This makes sense logically, but doesn't necessarily pan out in practice. In 2019, Mr. Beast famously planted 20 million trees to celebrate hitting 20 million subscribers. Planting trees is a noble pursuit, but as of 2025, only about 6% of the trees planted were still alive in the areas where follow-up surveys were done. A more successful and efficient technique called Farmer Managed Natural Regeneration, FMNR, has managed to bring back an estimated 200 million to 240 million trees across Africa, without planting a single tree. How? By utilizing the underground forest that already exists. Here's how it works. When a tree grows, Its main shoot releases a hormone called auxin that suppresses the growth of other shoots and buds to focus energy into one single strong trunk to create a tree. But when the tree is cut to a stump, it stops producing auxin even though the roots are still alive underground. As a result, dozens of shoots sprout at once, competing for resources, making it look like a bush. Essentially, this simple technique is about choosing one or two strong shoots and pruning away the rest so the chosen sprout can quickly become a tree again. This growth happens much quicker than planting a tree because the root system is already established. And as more trees recover using this method, the more their shade cools the ground and their roots hold the soil, keeping it from being swept away. So in essence, these solutions are both about seeing what can be done with the limited resources we have. Dry, depleted soil leads to dry, depleted conditions, which in turn makes the soil drier and even more depleted. It's a vicious doom loop. The late great philosopher-comedian George Carlin had a bit where he said, "The planet isn't going anywhere. We are." And this is absolutely true. The planet doesn't need us to save it. We need the planet to save ourselves. The best thing of all? Biodiversity can recover. Forests can regrow, animals can return, if we let it. The mission is to use simple rewilding techniques to break the doom loop so nature can restore itself. And it's astounding how fast that happens when we let it. Solutions like these are low-tech and are having a real-world impact in places that need it the most. I am honored to have collabed on this video with Planet Wild, a global community of people who care deeply about the planet. They partner with grassroots organizations doing vital work on the ground, like bringing back endangered species, cleaning our oceans, and re-greening entire landscapes. They also document all their missions right here on YouTube, so you can see exactly where contributions are going and the impact they're having. So please check out their channel and consider joining their community of over 20,000 members who are contributing to making positive changes. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to join. You can give whatever amount feels right to you, and you can cancel anytime. When you use my link, the first month is free, so you can see the impact for yourself. Thanks for watching. Stay curious.